All right, we're studying the first request in the Lord's Prayer. So we've covered the address, Our Father who art in heaven. And now Luther rightly reminds us that hallowed be thy name is actually a request where we're asking, in short, that God would help us keep his holy name intact, his reputation intact, how we live our lives from day to day. That we show the world that he is truly a gracious, saving God, and that we follow him. He's our dear Father who can rescue us in every way. So if hallowed means holy, then why would we ask that God would help us keep his name holy in the first petition of the Lord's Prayer? Luther picks up on this on the explanation. So let's kind of cover that. Isn't his name already holy? Right? So how do we holify his name? Again, just to make sure that we understand this, because this is a humbling thing, but an uplifting thing as well. How do we make God's name holy? As you think of that, as you discuss that question, or maybe come up with blank answers, blank stares, here's a passage from Romans 2:23 through 24 to give us insight and how privileged we are to be given this responsibility. Let your light shine before others, this is Matthew 15:16. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. And then Romans 2:23 through 24, if we're not the lights that God has called us to be, then this is what will happen. You dishonor God by breaking the law. Now it is written, God's name is blasphemed, it's hated, it's defamed among the Gentiles because of you. Maybe there's a saying that would be helpful for us to remember. For most people, the only sermon they'll ever hear is you. If that's the case, then we want our sermons to really reflect who God is. How important it is to walk the walk, right? That faith directs us to not just talk the talk, but walk the walk of faith. And that's what we're really asking for, right? God's name is absolutely holy. And here's the humbling thing. God doesn't need you or me or anyone else to make his name holy. It is in and of itself, but he has so loved us that he's actually given us this responsibility, this privilege, that your life matters. It matters so much that as you go about your life, you actually have this real important responsibility of reflecting God rightly, because it's so important that others and their souls, their eternity could depend on what you do, speaking in a human sense. So we want to take that absolutely seriously. And so we rightly pray, first things first, Lord, help me. Let everyone know that you are a holy, saving God. Let me live out as a light, live out my life as a light for you, and point people to you in your saving grace. Okay, so that's the thought from this section of our study of the first petition. We'll continue on to really embrace what it is that we're asking for in this request in our next videos. God bless.